In just 6 days, I'm gonna be taking one of the hardest martial arts tests I've ever done, the Judo belt test. But do I even deserve a Judo belt? Does that count?
Yeah, one more try.
My brain is completely blank. Ude garami. I feel like I'm not at that level.
Are you ready to see your final result?
So I got a message on Instagram a few weeks ago asking me, serious question, how are you still a Judo white belt? It was in response to this Instagram story of me doing a throw during Judo sparring. So I went on to explain that I'm not actually that good at Judo.
And recently, most of my Judo training actually happens during BJJ.
Pretty much all of my other Judo experience comes from either sparring or a Judo competition.
But Soren, who you might know from the channel, has agreed to give me a belt test.
There you go, wait a minute.
And that person who DM'd me on Instagram is waiting to say, I told you so when I get my next belt. So let's see if that actually happens or if I just embarrass myself on camera in front of all of you guys.
My goal today is simply to see what's on the test, and then I'll have the rest of the week to study and train.
So it looks like we've got a document with the yellow belt requirements. We've got the green belt requirements.
The belt system at my dojo Sensei Judo goes white, yellow, green, brown, black. But I'm gonna be taking both the yellow and green belt tests to see which one I actually deserve. But if only there was a way to remember all my grappling training in an app. There is. You're training BJJ every week and feel like you're not progressing fast enough. Or you don't know what's working and what's not. But it's not your fault. 70% of what you learn on the mats is forgotten in just 24 hours. But with BJJ Notes, you log your training, track techniques and stats, find patterns and get insights about your game. It's like having a second brain for your jiu-jitsu training. Link in the description. Use code JOSHBEAM to lock in the promo price on the annual plan.
All these Japanese terms. I think I know most of these.
Except for counting to 10. And of course, there's throws, combos, and ground techniques. But here's the thing. Only a very small minority of my training actually comes from drilling. That's because we do this thing called the ecological approach. Yeah, I know.
Behind me is the gym that I actually do most of my BJJ training at. It's called BAME Jiu-Jitsu. It's in Fremont, California, if you're interested, by the way.
I know roughly what all these throws look like, but I'm supposed to be able to perform the uchikomi and nagikomi for them.
Most of the throws I've learned has just been by doing it in randori.
I can probably count on one hand the number of actual technique classes I've gone to, and my other big problem is that I don't know what the names of these pins and turnovers are actually referring to, and I'm supposed to be a BJJ purple belt.
Am I even a yellow belt?
The green belt test has a very similar structure to the yellow belt one, only with more complicated stuff, and overall, between both tests, I have to learn quite a lot.
I honestly don't know how much of this I'm gonna be able to learn in a week. YOLO, I guess, I don't know.
I have my work cut out for me, but I do have a plan for tomorrow. Today, I have just 2 simple goals. And first up,
Ichi, ni, san, yon. Or shi? Bro, there's like 2 ways to do it.
Ichi.
Oh, he's got ducks. Ni. I don't trust this guy.
Or,
What is this guy? What is this?
I forgot one.
What? Go. Roku. Nana. Nana. Why are they all doing it different? You know what I do have? I have a video where I challenge Sensei Nakano and he counts to 10 in Japanese while I'm doing push-ups. So I'm actually gonna use that for my reference. That's an actual Japanese guy. San, shi, go. I'm gonna do what Sensei Nakano did. All right, here we go. Ichi, ni, shi, shan, chu. Oh, ichi, ni, san. Okay, I can remember this by doing like a thing. Just bear with me. Ichi, ni, san. Like the judo gi is ichi.
I think I figured out how to remember the numbers with a mnemonic device, but I won't find out until the practice test tonight where Soren will also test me on all the techniques.
You wanna be in a YouTube video? Yes! Sensei Soren Ogden is gonna evaluate me.
Quick preliminary test. Let's see how he does.
Soren's been doing judo for like 16 years and has all these crazy competition accolades, so I'm super stoked that he's giving me my test. Yeah, he literally threw me blindfolded.
We're gonna do it with Hunter back there, so we can also see if Hunter deserves. I'm just kidding.
Should we demote Hunter?
Should we demote Hunter?
It's now 10 p.m. and I'm gonna do the practice test with Soren and Hunter.
You're using the wrong foot.
I knew that. I was like... But before that, I also took like my 5th ever judo technique class. The class was great. He showed us a bunch of cool ways to do this throw called Ippon Seo Inagi, which also happens to be on the test. But I was getting nervous with Soren pacing around and watching me do these throws horribly. But I was lucky that Hunter was my partner, because he's awesome at judo and he's a green belt, so it helps me to see what level I'm aspiring towards. But now it's time to do what I'm actually here for, practicing the test.
Count to 10.
Oh. Ich, ni, san, shigo, roku, shichi, hachi, kyuju.
So native.
I'm glad this worked because earlier I checked my work with Sensei Nakano.
He said it was great to see you yesterday as well. You sound perfect, just like a native Japanese speaker. I'm gonna cry. Let's go. Goal 1 down.
But now it's time for the rest of the Japanese vocabulary.
What does hajime mean?
It means fight. Start.
Okay, there you go.
We breezed through the knowledge portion with just one small hiccup, but now it was time for the more difficult part, the throwing.
Ippon seoinage. Okay, now do your left side.
The funny thing about a lot of these throws is that I can kind of do some of them in sparring already, but when it comes to uchikomi, they feel almost completely new to me. Even so, the main reason Soren wanted to belt test me was because he saw my sparring recently. And he saw me at my 4th judo competition, where I got gold in this sort of brown belt division, and I also podiumed at my previous 3. But the thing that made everything finally click was changing my stance back to lefty, which is how I stood for the 6 or 7 years that I trained Muay Thai, so I just move better like that, even though a lot of my turn throws are still currently more comfortable on the right side. Also, shout out to all my trading partners and Eitan in this clip, you guys are all awesome. Thank you for helping me get better. You'll see that a lot of these training clips are at CJ Judo, which is an awesome place, and my first judo home. The other big thing that clicked recently was grip fighting. I realized that the ideal in grip fighting is for you to have your grips, and they don't have theirs. So it gave a goal for me to fight towards while trying to throw. But this test isn't just about sparring. It's also about knowledge about judo.
So remember, don't pull this way. Imagine kicking a soccer ball. Yeah, exactly. I mean, yeah. What? Cat's paw. All right, warm. Warmer? Okay, you're not literally a cat. You're nope. Yep. Oh. Okay. Think about it from like a judo perspective. Like, pin is broken.
So would talk it up.
Oh, he's winding up.
That's where like my knee just like.
It was a tile toshi. It just wasn't a good one.
There are some drills I'm better at than others,
That was pretty good. Straight muscle.
but still, I don't even know if I'm gonna pass the yellow belt portion. Okay, the main question we're all wondering is, does Hunter get to keep his green belt?
Yeah.
I feel like I have a lot to work on.
Yeah. The essence of the technique was there, just needed more refining.
Okay. What's the main thing that I should focus on, do you think? Just all of it?
I think fluidity. You learn very quickly just off of seeing something once. Now, like, let's say you pick up like 70% of a technique just by watching. Now you just need the rest of the 30%, but really getting each part of it perfect so you understand the feeling. Quality over quantity.
That's what ChatGPT said.
That was actually me on the other side.
That was you? Alright, good stuff. I'm 33, so I need a rest day. And my friend Cleve is getting a new jiu-jitsu belt today, so I'm gonna go watch that. Cleve's getting promoted because he's doing really well in training and competition. There's a pretty cool armbar that Cleve did at his most recent competition, where his whole team did pretty good. Does he deserve his purple belt?
I mean, Loki, yeah. Like, and like every time you go against these guys, you're always like, "What's out of you?" I was like, "What? No way, you're like a brown."
Also, everyone comment good luck, Isaac and Roman. Cleve's twin brothers are both in Army basic training by the time this video comes out. Big congrats to Cleve. I'm super stoked I got to be your first role at purple belt. This got me thinking about my previous belt promotions. BJJ gyms all do things a little differently. For example, I did take a technique test for my blue belt, but I got my purple belt because I was doing well in competition. But I have no idea what judo belts mean, and all I have to go on is what I see from other people. I went to this judo tournament a couple days ago where some of my teammates were competing.
Okay, yeah, I definitely can't compete today. Hip flexor still hurts.
In my literal last round of Randori a couple days before, I pulled my hip flexor. This was not my training partner's fault, by the the way, it was my fault. Which sucks, because I just got back from 3 months off of training due to a groin injury. But I got to see Hunter wipe out his division. He's really good at foot sweeps. And Renee from the Suit Judo video, he also got gold. But it got me thinking, these guys are way better than me, so why am I even taking a green belt test? There was also this team from a Japanese university visiting. Looking at how skilled they are, it showed me just how many levels there are far past green and yellow belt. I even got to talk to a couple of them, which was cool.
How's it going? Nice to meet you. My name is Josh.
My name is Rai.
It's what?
Rai. R-A-I.
Rai.
Rai.
Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you.
My name is Kazuki Yokote.
Nice. Your English is very good.
Oh, thank you.
Where do you train at?
Kokushikan University.
How did your matches go?
It's a little bit different between Japan tournament and then US here. It's more like an audience, like more like cheering and then more enjoying.
What is your favorite technique?
Uchimata.
What throws did you use?
Uchimata. Yokote yori ore no ga.
He said mine's better. The previous one, the guy, bigger one,
My favorite technique, Uchimata.
Your Uchimata is better?
Joshiro Maruyama yori ore no ga ue.
he said more than Maruyama. Joshiro.
Oh yeah.
Me.
Well, it's very nice to meet you.
Yeah. Thank you so much.
Arigato.
Seeing these guys was enlightening, but I won't find out what the true standard is for yellow and green belt until I actually take my test in just 3 days. My goals today are simple: lift some weights and perfect my uchikomis, like Soren said. Due to my groin injury called athletic pubalgia, I'm still only at like 60%. And while it's getting better, I still can't do common things like run, and every single break fall hurts. So I'm trying to strengthen my body to help recovery and make sure I can actually do my test Saturday. Shout out, by the way, Grappling Strength and Performance in San Jose, who I've been with for years at this point. I work on some uchikomis, but now it's time for class again.
I came to class because I thought we were drilling, Soren. What are we doing? Drilling. Oh, this is drilling?
It's now after class and it's time to practice my test with Hunter again. But I got roped into randori. That was totally my fault. I chose to do it. Anyway, despite my best attempts, I feel like I can do nothing to throw Hunter. He either foot sweeps me or counters me perfectly. And the same thing happens with Renee. Right when I think I got him, he counterattacks me. But even though he's a green belt, since I weigh significantly more than him, I can sometimes throw him. That is, until he gets me right back. All this recent immersion though in judo is helping me get comfortable shooting more attacks. Even though Soren's level feels unachievable, I look at every time I get thrown as an opportunity to get better, or something like that. Anyway, I did a bunch of the uchikomi I was supposed to do, and then went home. We have another issue. So I went full send on the sparring last night, and now my shoulder hurts. I don't know if it's my rear delt or my rotator cuff or what, but dude, I'm getting all kinds of beat up. Oh. Hopefully it's good for Saturday. I'm just gonna do nothing today, I guess. Except like stretch and pray. Just kidding. I'm at class again. I feel like I made some progress on my uchikomis last night, but now my shoulder is completely messed up. I really hope this doesn't make me fail my test in 2 days, because I'm spending another 2 hours right now practicing after class, really trying to perfect the movements, because now I'm on my last day. I got home again at like 1 a.m. last night, but just like Groundhog Day, I'm back at the dojo again. My shoulder hurts, but I'm gonna try to drill a little bit. I was too in the zone to film my speed run of the practice test again, but I did get in some light sparring rounds. Probably a dumb idea since my shoulder hurts really bad and my test is tomorrow.
Oh my gosh, his animation canceled his steps. It's so cool.
And just like that, I've run out of training days. Tomorrow, we find out if I actually deserve a judo belt. We'll see if the person in my DMs can actually say I told you so, or if all my training this week was just a huge waste of time. But one thing I'm looking forward to is that I've also invited Cleve for tomorrow. Not only to hang out and watch the test, but also because we have a secret surprise planned for his purple belt.
I was in the DMs with Cleve, and I sent him a video of Liam at CJ Judo just murking somebody with Uchimata. Cleve says there's no way he's getting thrown like that. This is the day before the belt test. Hunter, I'm going to hand you over to Cleve tomorrow.
Okay. I'll try my best.
Okay.
Definitely.
You will do the honors of giving Cleve his first real judo throw.
But we may have lied to Hunter a little bit for the plot.
Cleve is the black belt. Yeah.
That's crazy.
That's how he got his 4th degree so early. is he won a couple worlds. He rode with people like Craig Jones. Yeah.
Okay, so we got like the nuke against like the little baby, like the green belt in judo versus like world champion black belt.
He's a judo white belt though.
But he has one naga.
A couple times.
Yeah.
He won it as a kid.
He got the sword though.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's all on you, Hunter.
Okay, I'll try my best.
Alright.
We'll see you.
He doesn't know we're joking.
So what happened?
I think y'all were telling me in the parking lot last night. I found his Instagram, and then these guys are disgusting liars. Not a black belt.
Sorry, Hunter. It was for the story, I promise.
We're gonna see if Cleve can survive against Hunter, but first we gotta do the test. I'm prepared, but I'm nervous that I'm gonna mess up on something simple, and my shoulder is still hurting me.
Which one will it be?
But it's time to start.
We have our belt test today. You know, you came in a good amount of times, you studied a whole lot, so I think you're ready, and we'll see how it goes.
So first up, we'll have the yellow belt test, then the green belt test, but I won't know what I actually got until the final evaluation.
Mr. Hunter, you've been a super big help. What are you thinking right now?
I'm just gonna be taking falls really. I just hope that you don't hurt me or anything like that. But I think you have a lot of techniques, at least to a minimum, so.
I'm feeling a bit nervous, but we'll see what happens. So first up, we're gonna start with terminology.
You get 3 chances on each question.
Can I phone a friend?
No. Okay. What are the main judo principles?
Maximum efficiency, minimum effort, mutual benefit, and welfare. Mutual welfare.
Correct. Who is the founder of judo?
Jigoro Kano.
Yes.
I'm pretty sure I got all the terminology correct, but we'll find out later.
Let's move on to the physical requirements.
Oh, okay. All right, let's do it.
These are all pretty simple warm-up movements, and I'm glad I get to do these before the throws because I'm pretty worried about my shoulder. But luckily, it's not bothering me too much yet, because now it's time for the standing techniques. I feel fairly confident with most of these throws and combinations, but I know there are a few coming up that gave me problems in the past, starting with this Kosotogari.
Okay. Show me Kosotogari one more time.
Kosotogari, one more time.
Yeah.
I tried desperately to remember what the issue was from when I was training it before.
Close, that was Dayashi. People might disagree with me. I would say Kosoto's more backwards to like 45 degrees this way.
He's also asking me about Osotogari, which I had some issues with.
So remember, don't pull this way. The kazushi is here.
And to top it all off, he also wants me to do Ouchi.
Out, and then think of it as a 7.
But the hours of practice paid off because I'm able to execute all 3 of them, including the Kosotogari. I think.
Now we're going to transition over to Newaza.
All right, I'm a purple belt, so hopefully I can pass this.
Hopefully. Show me Keisagatame.
Keisagatame.
I fly through all the various pins and the only submission on the yellow belt portion, but the turnovers are what I'm worried about because I had a lot of issues with them during training.
Show me double far arm turnover.
Initially, I had no clue what most of these were.
Warmer, colder, 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 warmer. You're freezing to death right now. Warmer, warmer, warmer. Way too cold. Oh, he's got it.
But even under the pressure of the test, I'm glad I remember what I'm supposed to do.
Show me cat's paw.
Okay, you're not literally a cat. You're still a human.
Luckily, I remember what the cat's paw is, and now we're closing in on the end of the test with some sweeps and passes. But I knew we were forgetting something.
Now for your final test, count to 10 in Japanese.
Ichi, ni, san, shi, go, rokyu, shichi, hachi, kyu, ju.
All right, congrats. That's a yellow belt test. All right.
Good job, okay, thank you. So should we go straight into the green belt test?
Yep.
Despite a few initial mess-ups, I'm feeling pretty good about the yellow belt test, but it's only gonna get way more difficult from here.
So we finished the yellow belt portion. We don't know if you passed yet. I still have to consider that, look over some things, but now we're going to move on to the green belt test. For the green belt requirements, we're starting off with the terminology.
Even though this test has only 3 sections, it's way more complicated.
For your green belt, you only get 2 tries. What is a joint lock technique?
And of course, I immediately forget the first term.
Kansatsu Jime. Kansatsu Jime.
Kansatsu waza.
Oh. Some arm locking attacks.
Pretty much. All right.
Like chicken katsu. I'm already rattled and worried I might fail the green belt test.
Do you want to skip over that one?
Let me skip it and I have one more try, yeah.
Okay. What is a hand technique?
Tewaza.
The mess up kind of sucks because I'm pretty confident with the other terminology.
Kuzushi. Ashiwaza. Shimewaza. Soremare. Shido. Osaikomi. Toketa. Osaikomi waza. Sutemi waza.
Now, you have one more try for what a joint lock technique is.
This better not be the thing that makes me fail.
What is a joint lock technique?
To be honest, I don't even know what score I'm supposed to get to pass.
My brain is completely blank. For some reason, the only thing that's coming to me is what I said earlier. Kansatsu waza.
Okay.
I know what it is, but I can't think of it right now.
We're gonna move on to the contest commands and scoring.
Kosetsu waza.
Correct. So again, what we're looking for is not necessarily the testing ability, but the knowledge. Yeah. So because you got it right, even though it's after the 3 attempts, that will be taken into consideration. That concludes the terminology. Okay. So let's move on to the standing techniques, tachiwaza. 2 attempts per throw. Okuri ashiburai.
I'm already shook from messing up the terminology, and now we're going into a throw that I messed up during training. Luckily I got it, but now I have another problem.
Tai otoshi.
This is a throw that I spent a disproportionate amount of time on in training, and I still don't know if I can do it. But maybe this is enough to pass? But I can't get hung up on a few bad throws because I still have a bunch more individual throws, combinations, and ground techniques to get through if I'm gonna pass the green belt test.
Harai goshi into kataguruma.
This is a curveball. I've literally never seen this combination before. And because of my shoulder, I'm having trouble doing some of the turn throws on my left side.
How many chances do I get?
2.
But I eventually settle on what I think is the correct combination. At least, I hope so.
Correct.
Okay. I had to think about the directions.
That's why we do it.
Yeah.
We're on the tail end of the standing techniques, and I just have to demonstrate some throws into submissions. And if I make it through the ground techniques next, I'll find out if I actually get a green belt. The ground techniques section for green belt is way more complicated. While the yellow belt test only had 1 submission, the green belt test has multiple submissions, turnovers, pins, and I have no idea how well I'm actually doing on any of this.
From newaza, we're going to go into the guard and passing.
I feel like I've done the best I could possibly do in just 6 short days in order to pass the green belt test, but I won't know until Soren's final evaluation, coming up in just a few short moments. Before we find out, comment below what belt you think I'm gonna get. Is it gonna be yellow or green?
That concludes the green belt test.
I'm relieved it's over, but I have a nagging feeling I'm about to get a yellow belt, if anything.
So we're done, right?
As much as you know, yes, but I had other plans. You are going to test all the way up to brown belt.
Oh shit.
To see if you can get your brown belt. I know you didn't study, but let's see how far you can go.
So yeah, I didn't show you guys this at the beginning, but there's an entirely separate brown belt section on the test. But of course I studied none of it because I'm not a brown belt, right?
All right, I'm down.
Brown belt on the line. Show me uranage. Technically that was not uranage. Show me sore surukomi goshi.
Yeah, this is getting off to a rough start.
Show me hiza guruma. Preferably don't blow his knee out.
And a rough middle.
Tsubame gaishi.
And at this rate, it's gonna have a bad ending too.
Do you want to skip over that one for now so that it comes to you later? Soro makakomi.
I'm literally just making stuff up at this point because that throw was totally wrong. In fact, most of what I'm doing on this brown belt test is not even close.
Ippon. Suri goshi.
I think I should just keep my white belt.
Okay.
I kinda got some stuff right, but the majority of it is a dumpster fire.
Katate jime.
Katate jime.
It'll come to you if you say it enough. Jagoro Kano will whisper it to your ear.
He's looking at me so disappointed right now.
I figure if I can just roughly translate the Japanese in my head, then I can figure out what some of these moves mean. Or not.
Ure Gurami.
I know Ashigarami. Jigoro? Or sorry, Sensei Kano.
First name basis.
Ude Garami.
I know I got this one.
Show me it one more time. I just wanted to psych you out. Good job, you're doing better than I thought.
That means I get my black belt?
I'm pretty sure I failed almost everything on the brown belt test, but maybe my saving grace is that I can do some of the newaza, or maybe I should just stick to jujitsu. But would you look at that pendulum sweep?
All right, that concludes the brown belt test.
Okay.
For being put on the spot, I think you did pretty good.
After an entire week of training and an intense day of testing, it's time to find out my result.
You've learned more judo in 1 week than I've learned in 4 years.
That's crazy.
Are you ready to see your final result? I already kind of have it in mind.
And that person from Instagram, they're waiting on the answer too.
Yeah, I'm ready.
Okay. All right, close your eyes. You're gonna hold both sides. Hold here.
All right.
Then hold here. Are you gonna pull it apart on 3? Ready? 1, 2, 3. Congratulations.
Oh shit.
You got the green belt. Yeah.
I was about 90% sure when I opened my eyes I was gonna be holding a yellow belt.
So part of the reason that I chose the green belt was your yellow belt foundations were super strong. Once you got to green belt, there was a little bit of mistakes, but not enough that I would be like, oh, you got it wrong. You know, what we're looking for is not necessarily a perfect test score, but the knowledge itself. And you demonstrated the essence of each technique. As for the brown belt, the essence was somewhere in the air. We need a little more confidence and execution, but a lot of the throws that are in the brown belt are a little more, I would say, niche.
Yeah.
But the knowledge is important, and that's why I put the teaching portion in there, because brown belt is the step towards your black belt, but it's also the step that you take to help everyone else brought up. That's why I chose the green belt. I felt it, especially with your movement that I saw during Randori. I was taking mental notes, and I think a green belt fits you very well right now.
Cool. Thank you guys, I appreciate it. Going against guys like Hunter and Randori and like seeing the level, I feel like I'm not at that level. I say that with respect to the fact that I trust that you're giving me the belt you think that I should have. I think my job is just to just keep improving and get better because I feel like I have a whole lot of work to do, so.
You're right at that cusp, right? And when we promote, we want to promote to when you're about in the middle of the pack. You're throwing some green belts and you're losing to others.
Yeah.
We don't want to promote you to green when you're already beating consistently brown belts.
Yeah.
Because at that point, that's just sandbagging.
You're right.
And so that gives you enough, I guess, difficulty to push yourself, but not so much that you get there and you're like, oh man, I suck.
Yeah,
like I don't deserve this at all. You know, any green belt, then you feel like you don't deserve it at all.
Yeah.
But I'm sure through watching your matches, through your placement in the tournaments, through the Randori that I've seen, I think you 100% deserve it.
Cool, thank you.
Congratulations.
Thank you. Thanks again, dude. Yeah, good stuff. All right, should we all, do you guys want to spar?
It's now Cleve's turn to try judo for the first time.
I have never been thrown. In practice, in competition, I've never been thrown. So I think today's gonna be the day. But
To be honest, I've tried wrestling with Cleve. It's very hard to move him around and do stuff. So I fully believe that. I fully believe that.
I'm scared, bro.
Honestly, Cleve did really good defensively and attacking for his first ever time doing judo, but ultimately he did get thrown by Hunter. As do most people who go with Hunter.
Yeah, I was talking smack to not smack, but yeah, I was wrong. What was I thinking?
This is all just a joke, by the way. Comment Cleve's the man, as always, down below. Just like in BJJ, it's not really the color of the belt that matters. It's all about what you do individually to continue improving. This was an amazing experience to go through, so thank you to everybody who was a part of it. But one of the best parts about this whole thing happened way later. I may have got a little message on Instagram. Oh yeah, and Cleve threw me. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to hit subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one.